Hi grade 11s is promised exercise 1 from your textbook, which is revision of grade 10 exponents. Okay, so you are already familiar with all of the exponent laws and how to apply them. We're just going to be walking through that. Question 1a, let's rewrite each of them as I'm going along. I've got 5a to the power of 0 plus, in a bracket, 5a to the power of 0. Now, there's a difference between this. The difference is this here, this 0 over here, applies only to the a. This 0 applies to everything in the bracket. So this one is going to be 5 multiplied by anything to the power of 0 is 1. You don't have to write this. I'm just showing you. And this here, the whole bracket is to the power of 0. So 1. Leaving me with 5 plus 1. Oh, it's 5 times 1. So 5 plus 1. Giving me a final answer of 6. Okay. Question B says negative 2x cubed y squared to the power of 3. Everything in here is getting cubed. Also, you would notice that there's no plus or minus sign in here. And then someone's going to get confused. They're going to be like, but there's a minus sign. Okay, yes, this here is a negative sign. This is a single term. And because it's a single term, we can distribute this 3. So I can say 3 can go to this negative 2, 3 can go to this x to the power of 3, and 3 can go to the y squared. It cannot go if it was something like this. Okay, to the power of 3. If it was something like this, because of this plus sign, it means there's 2 terms in here. Okay, and then you'd have to basically write this bracket out 3 times and then multiply it. Okay. Right, this one over here, we're going to distribute it. So it's negative 2 to the power of 3, which gives me negative 8. X3 to the power of 3, we multiplying this exponent by this one, so x9. And with the y, again, we multiplying this by this, giving me 6. And that's my final answer. C, we've got 3 to the power of 3 in a bracket to the power of 2 multiplied by 3 squared. That means we can distribute this 2 with that, giving me 3 to the power of 6, 3 to the power of 2. Okay, now we're going to use a calculator. I'm not sure what that is. You could type the whole thing onto the calculator one time. Okay, or alternatively, we could have, if they said simplify fully without using a calculator, because the bases are the same, we can add the exponents. So we could have said also 3 to the power of 8, that plus that, and then if it said use a calculator, we could do that, and we come into the same answer. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's continue. D. With this one over here, we're using the exponent law that says if the bases are the same and we're multiplying, you can add the exponents. And if the bases are the same and you're dividing, you subtract the exponents. I'm first going to deal with the numbers. 2 multiplied by the 4, giving me 8. This x squared and this x4 have same basis, so we can add the exponents. Okay, 2 plus 4 giving me 6. Then with the y, I've got 1 here, so 1 plus 3 giving me 4. Over at the bottom, I've got a 6. X to the 6, y to the 6. Now we're going to be dividing. You could have done it all in one step if you wanted to. What can go into 8 and into 6? 2. 2 goes into 8 4 times and into 6 3 times. So 4 over the 3. This 6 minus 6 gives me 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. I don't have to write the 1 over there. And then for this part over here, you could say y4 minus 6. It gives you negative 2 at the top. And then you have to move your answer to the bottom. Or you can see which is the bigger one between the bottom and the top. I notice it's the bottom. So I'm going to say 6 minus 4. Make my answer at the bottom. And there we go. E. This is a bracket. Now if it's bracket, we're going to use BODMAS first. You can simplify inside. If you cannot simplify inside, then we'll go outside, okay? So we've got inside with the numbers. Something can go into the 12 and into the 15. And the number that can go into both of them is 3. 3 goes into 12 4 times. There's a negative sign. Okay, let's keep this in its bracket. And into the 15 it goes 5 times. With the x squared and the y, I can't do anything, but I noticed that this y is at the bottom and it's negative. So if it's negative at the bottom, I'm bringing it to the top. So y squared and squared. Now you would notice that there's a negative over here and it's getting squared. Anything that's squared that's negative becomes positive. Why is that so? Because it's negative 4 times negative 4, giving me positive 16 over 25, x to the 4, y to the 4. And there's our answer. What did I do? 2 multiplied by 2, 2 multiplied by 2. Okay, f. Continue over here. F, again, we've got a bracket. Let's see if we can simplify inside first. Okay. What can go into 10 and into 4? 2. 2 goes into there 5 times and into there twice. With the y, I've got a 6 at the bottom and a 4 at the top. Which is the bigger one? The bottom. So 6 minus 4 giving me y to the power of 2. My answer has to be at the bottom. This is all to the power of negative 2. When you see a fraction, okay, and it's only single term, okay, so just multiplication and division here inside, and you see a negative power, you can flip the whole thing around. It's the reciprocal of it, giving me 2y squared over 5 now to the power of 2. So we're just flipping it around. Easy way out from that exponent law that says anything raised to a negative power is 1 over whatever it was. So we just flip it around if you see a fraction and take away the negative. Now we can distribute that, giving me 4y4 over 25. Okay, let's continue. So this one over here, this 2 is going to get distributed into everything because there's no plus or minus sign inside, giving me 9, positive 9. A4B8 and multiplied over. See how this 3 does not go to this 3 over here because it's this 3 isn't in the bracket, so we leave it as is. A to the 6, B to the 3. And then we're going to simplify what goes into 9 and into 3. 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times and into 3 once. So my answer is just 3. From my A, the bigger one is at the bottom. So A, 6 minus 4 is 2. And from my B's, the bigger one is at the top. 8 minus 3 is 5. There's my answer for question H. This one here, I'm first going to deal with inside the bracket. 3 times 3. This times this, it's the same base, so we add the exponents. I'm going to do the same thing for this bracket. 3 times, oh, this one here is 3 plus 3. Okay, you need to, when we add in, you have to make sure that it's like terms. Is it like terms? Yes. I've got a x3, x3. So I can add the coefficients. 3 plus 3 giving me 6. X to the power 3. Notice how I'm not changing this to a 6. Very different to when it's multiplied. Squared. Okay, now it's single term inside, so I can distribute that, giving me 81x to the power of 12 plus single term inside, so I can distribute this 2, giving me 36x to the power of 6. Can I add these two? No, because this one is x to the power of 12, this one is x to the power of 6. That's my final answer. And the last one, here we go, this question over here, and you see that this x over here has a negative power, so it's unhappy where it is, so we need to shift it downstairs. What do I mean by the shift it downstairs? Why can't I shift it there? It's because we have this plus sign over here. You cannot just shift it to the numerator. Instead, what we want to do is, let's use another color so you can see. this is technically over 1, this is technically over 1. You want to shift them each over their own denominators, okay? Or, yeah, to the bottom. Okay, so we've got x plus y over, goes down, 1 over x plus, goes to the bottom, 1 over y. Now, at the bottom, okay, I have this whole part over here. I need to go back to my grade 8 knowledge of finding a lowest common denominator with these variables. I'm going to leave the numerator as it is. For my denominator, okay, I'm going to put it in a bracket so no one gets confused. Okay, for my denominator, the lowest common denominator is xy. From 1 over x to get to xy, I'd have to multiply, oh wait, let me say that again. From the x to get to xy, I'd have to multiply by y. What I do at the bottom, I do at the top. So 1 times y gives me y, plus from y to get to xy, I have to multiply by x. What I do at the bottom, I do at the top. 1 times x giving me x. Okay, now I have a numerator and a denominator. Or it looks something like this. We know that a fraction is division, isn't it? So divided by, this is what it also looks like. You can skip this step, but that's what it looks like. Okay, and since it's division of two fractions, I just put this one over a numerator so you guys could understand. But since it's division of two fractions, I can dip in times. So we've got x plus y times, flip this over, xy over y plus x. Let's just keep this one on its denominator that we had. Now, because there's multiplication over here, right, I can cancel in this pattern or in this order. A top and a bottom, top and bottom, or crisscross like that, right? But I cannot just cancel over plus and minus unless I'm canceling the whole plus and minus part. Like for example, can you see this x plus y is exactly the same thing as y plus x, commutative property. So I can cancel the whole thing. Can I cancel just this x with this x? No, that you cannot do. And final answer, I'm left behind with just xy. At the bottom, nothing. That's my final answer. I hope that this helped you guys.